What if the voice behind the Temptations' greatest hits hit a life too wild for any song? Dennis Edwards, the soulful giant who lifted Motown to new heights, wasn't just a singer. He was a man tangled in fame, heartbreak, and shocking rumors. From gospel choirs to packed arenas, his path was never easy. Whispers of a secret romance with a music queen, bitter battles over a legendary name, and chilling accusations in his final days still cloud his legacy. Let's pull back the curtain on a story too long in the shadows. It all begins in a small Alabama town where a boy's voice first rang out. Dennis Edwards was born February 3, 1943, in Fairfield, Alabama, a quiet spot near Birmingham. His father, a reverend, led the church, and his mom played piano, weaving music into their lives. By age 2, Dennis was singing hymns, captivating the congregation. At 10, his family moved to Detroit, a city buzzing with Motown's rise. There, he didn't just sing. He studied, mastering piano and saxophone at the Detroit Conservatory. As a teen, he formed the Firebirds, mixing soul and jazz. His mom banned secular music, so he chased his passion in secret. After serving in the Army from 1961 to 1963 in Europe, he returned to Detroit, hungry for a break. Motown signed him in 1966 after a killer audition, and what came next would rewrite his life. In 1968, Dennis Edwards stepped into David Ruffin's shoes as the Temptations' lead singer. Ruffin's exit was messy, booted for ego and drug issues, and Dennis faced a skeptical crowd. He didn't just fill the gap, he transformed the group. His raw, gospel-charged voice powered hits like Cloud 9 and Papa Was a Rollin' Stone, pushing the Temptations into a grittier, psychedelic soul era that earned them a Grammy. His commanding stage presence, cool, intense, magnetic, made fans roar. But behind the scenes, tensions simmered. Some members clashed over the group's new direction, and Dennis's take-charge attitude ruffled feathers. By the mid-1970s, cocaine had him in its grip. Fueled by the pressure of fame and internal rivalries, it cost him his spot in 1977, leaving fans stunned. He'd return, but the scars ran deep. And while his voice soared, his heart was caught in a romance that shook Motown. The rumors about Dennis Edwards and Aretha Franklin still burn bright. In the early 1970s, at the height of their fame, they were reportedly engaged. Their chemistry, electric. Aretha's 1972 hit, Daydreaming, was said to be her ode to Dennis, its soulful ache mirroring their bond. They kept their love hidden, a secret even Motown's rumor mill couldn't crack. Their connection wasn't just personal, it sparked creative fire, with Dennis inspiring Aretha's emotional depth and Aretha pushing Dennis to match her intensity. But it fell apart when he started seeing Ruth Pointer of the Pointer Sisters. Years later, Dennis confessed he blew it, intimidated by Aretha's larger-than-life stardom. Aretha was blunt, saying he realized her value 15 years too late. Fans still debate how their marriage might have changed music history, but that wasn't the only storm brewing. Cocaine didn't just steal Dennis's place in the Temptations, it nearly broke him. His marriage to Ruth Pointer in the late 1970s dragged them both into addiction's depths. They partied hard, and Dennis's reliability crumbled, showing up late or drunk to rehearsals. The spiral strained his health and finances, leaving him isolated from friends. By 1980, he fought his way back to the Temptations, lending his voice to their reunion album. His 1984 solo hit, Don't Look Any Further, with Sieta Garrett, proved he could shine alone. But solo success was fleeting. Promoters favored his Temptations fame over his new work. The demons didn't vanish, and his third stint with the group ended in 1987, with drugs playing a part. Yet Dennis's grit shone through, rebuilding through solo gigs and a new group. Trouble, though, was waiting with an old ally. Dennis's friendship with Otis Williams, the Temptations leader, turned sour in the 1990s. When Dennis launched Dennis Edwards and the New Temptations, Otis sued, claiming the name misled fans and violated his rights. The legal war was brutal, costing each nearly $1 million. Fans took sides. Some backed Otis for preserving the brand. Others cheered Dennis for keeping the classic sound alive. In 1997, a judge allowed New Temptations, but Otis appealed, and the court later barred Dennis from using Temptations entirely. Dennis rebranded as The Temptations Review, featuring Dennis Edwards, featuring ex-Temptations like Ali Woodson. His group became a nostalgic haven, with soulful harmonies that echoed the 1970s. Many argued it captured the Temptations' spirit better than Otis's newer lineup. The feud left wounds, and more loss was coming. The Temptations were a family, but death shattered them. David Ruffin collapsed in 1991 after using crack, his body worn thin by addiction. Eddie Kendricks, the falsetto master, lost a lung to cancer and died in 1992 at 52. Paul Williams took his own life in 1973, battling pain and debt. Melvin Franklin, the bass voice, fell to a flesh-eating infection in 1995. Damon Harris and Richard Street passed in 2013 from cancer and a lung embolism. Dennis, one of the last left, carried heavy grief. "I never thought I'd outlive them," he said, his voice thick with sorrow, but his final days would spark a firestorm. Dennis Edwards died in February 2018 at 74, just days from turning 75. Meningitis was the official cause, but dark clouds hung over his passing. Weeks earlier, an emergency order accused his wife Brenda of horrific neglect, stripping away his hearing aids, phone, and iPad, even trying to suffocate him. The claims hit like a bomb, with news outlets and fans on X buzzing with shock and anger. Police dug in, but Brenda denied it all, swearing she loved Dennis. By late 2018, the accusations were ruled false, clearing her name. Still, whispers persist on X, with some speculating about money motives, though no evidence holds up. Dennis's daughter also doubted the meningitis story, fueling more questions. His death ended an era, but the mystery lives on. Dennis Edwards wasn't just David Ruffin's replacement. He was a force who redefined the Temptations. His voice, rooted in Alabama churches, carried Motown to new peaks. He battled addiction, heartbreak, and betrayal, yet never stopped singing. From Aretha's lost love to Brenda's cleared name, his life was brilliance wrapped in pain. He outlived his bandmates, only to leave us questioning the secrets he carried. Did Dennis get the spotlight he earned, or is his story still unsung? Share your thoughts below, and let's keep his soul alive.